So let's start on the outside here. So this is a lintel under one of the rear windows, and as you can see, it's completely corroded. It doesn't look like it's been galvanized. It does look like it's been painted but not galvanized. It's not doing bad for 60 years. Still was pretty good back in those days. And it's sitting on an aluminium window as well, so that won't help it. So you can see there's no way you could save that, so it's rotten all the way in there. It's I don't think it's an I-beam, it's probably a cross beam or whatever you call it, and so you can't save them. So every lintel in the house is corroded like that. And here's an example of what that corrosion does. So this one's pretty bad. So it's lifted, you can see it's lifted the bricks here, it's lifted them there. You can see the crack just fall out all the way. So it's basically lifted the whole corner of the wall off the bricks, and you can see that one's pretty bad. That one's lifted it as well. You can see the corrosion above there. That's unsavable. Doesn't matter how much painting you give that, you're not going to save that. You can see down that side as well. So that's unsavable. And there's another one there. They're all the same, they're all corroded. Here's something else we discovered. So this looks like it's a soak well. So the water that comes down drains into these soak wells, so there must be a soak well under here. You can see how the pavement's all collapsed as well. The only thing holding it up must be this concrete or mortar. But it's all collapsed, so it's now starting to take soil from the surface. So that's a soak well by discovery. I don't know where the others are. I have no idea where all the other soak wells are. So we've got drainage points all around the house. There's one here. I think that one's for that drain over there. This one actually drains to that corner down the bottom. I've no idea where that drains to there. And so there's another issue we've got. We've got all these collapsing soak wells, and they're going to have to be dug out. And the best bit, that's a brick and asbestos patio. So 1982 I think they built that, I can't remember. The planning said brick and asbestos patio, dead giveaway. So the roof here is asbestos. You can see there the same front is on that top, and that's all asbestos sheets all across the roof. So that has to go as well. We used to have asbestos all the way around this block, so this fence, the rear fence and the other fence was all asbestos as well. So we managed to get rid of all that and get colour-bond fences in, so that made a big difference. Keep finding little bits of asbestos everywhere around the boundary where they made the fence. So we just keep putting them in bags and disposing of them responsibly. But everything here is asbestos on the roof. Underneath the eaves is all asbestos, so that's not savable. You can see here the mess. I've been starting to get ready for the demolition, and so it's all going very soon. So if you're wondering why we're knocking it down and not renovating, now you know. So here's the outside of the house at the bottom. So the floor level's here. The red bricks is the base of the slab. And then, what the hell are those? They're not even full bricks, I don't know what they are. And so I've got something under the foundation that doesn't even look like a foundation. So there's another issue. So you can't cure that. Now when we started to look at renovating, we peeled away all the tiles on the floor and the wall, and then realised a thing called an infill slab. So you can see there how there's a gap alongside the wall. So basically the way they did it was they built the bricks and then they poured the concrete in, and as a result when the concrete shrinks, you get a gap between the wall and the concrete. And so how do they manage that? Right, I'll show you how they manage that in a minute. So this is how they managed it. They put a brick at the bottom of the wall, just above the slab, and they put a brick at the top of the wall, and inside they matched it with another brick, and inside they matched it with another brick. So basically you had ventilation going up and through the wall, and that's what dries the wall out. So there's another one. They're all over. They're all around the house. About every, what's that, 3 feet, 4 feet? Every 3 or 4 feet you get these ventilation bricks. So if you block them off, guess what happens? Your walls pull the damp up from the ground and they don't dry out. So it was an interesting building philosophy. So rather than build on a slab and keep the damp out, they manage the damp by putting ventilation in the top and the bottom of the walls. Right, so guess what happens? In the summer, all the heat goes in, and in the winter, all the heat comes out. You cannot heat or cool this house. Doesn't matter how hard you try, it would never be energy efficient. Here's another example of the wall lifting. You can see there the bathroom window has gone, and you can see there how it's lifted the whole corner of the house. The other thing I've found is there's a concrete pipe that runs from this corner, you can see it going down there, and it runs diagonally across to there, and then there's pipes running through the garden there as well. So when they built it, they randomly put copper pipes everywhere, and I've been slowly discovering where they are, but again you'd have to change all that as well. So there is absolutely nothing in this house that is worth saving. It's infill slab, inefficient ventilation. Every lintel is there as well. Look at that. Every lintel is blown. It's lifted all the bricks, so you'd have to cut all the way back. The mortar's all gone. You can see here how the mortar's all gone in the wall. It's so all the mortar's gone in the wall. So it's done its job. It's done a great job. It's 6 years old, and but it's just done. So that's the reason why we're redoing this house. You can see there all the air conditioners as well with the sea. We live about 300 metres from the ocean. Everything is just rusted. That's asbestos up there as well. Anyway, house has done its job. It's done a very good job, and it's now time to fix it. One of the other things that has happened to this house is apparently when it was built the roof blew off. It can get a bit windy here, and so they put these random carbon steel rod ties everywhere, and they've tied the roof to them. But just because they're not just carbon steel, they're all rusted, and they're lifting the bricks as well. That's not a great example, that one, but there are a few elsewhere. So how the hell would I replace all these in the cavity as well? So that's another reason it's not worth doing anything. So the roof has obviously got straps down to these to hold it on. And so that sort of summarises another reason why we're not doing anything.